Awesome, awesome, awesome. We are finally live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this live event. If you're watching us in replay mode, then do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal of Glance on pitchground.com. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This is your host, Swapnil from PitchGround. Guys, are you interested in staying up to date with the latest product updates and have a live Q&As with the founders or their team? If so, join us for our exclusive live streaming events, which are happening every week. What we do in these events, or we share product updates, we share roadmaps, use cases, educational and business growth content, and many more things. Also, if you have any questions, you can ask your questions inside the live Q&As, right? So don't miss out on these events to get the inside scoop on what's new with the tool. It's a great opportunity to catch up with the product owners or their teams. So today's live show is for GlanceHQ.ai. If you don't know what GlanceHQ does, so let me give you a brief introduction about Glance. Glance helps you to identify buyers, upsell opportunity, and churn risk customers through contact list segmentation and custom, contact segmentations or the suggestions. With Glance, you can easily target and convert more of your contacts into high value customers. So, with that note, without further ado, let me welcome our today's live show guest, Mr. Roy, CEO and co-founder of Glance HQ. Roy, we would love to hear about your company, team, and Glance HQ journey. Before we get started, that would be fantastic.
Hi everyone. Hello PitchGround. We're super excited to be here. Thanks Swapnil for having us. We're very excited about Glance and we're very excited about how we can help people convert customers. So, quick short story. I'm an engineer who turned into a marketer. What does that mean? I used to be an engineer. I loved marketing, but I created a digital marketing agency. It was just completely out of the blue. I created a product company that did not work and I morphed it into digital services. And once we started doing marketing, what I started seeing was there's a bunch of things we do, but we don't leverage data enough. And SaaS was really upcoming during that time. What I saw was marketers were struggling with identifying who the customers were. They were marketing incessantly. There's a lot of wastage. There's a lot of inefficiencies, but we are failing to look at the signals and the problem points. Majority of the marketing dollars are going to waste, and we keep on changing strategies in between and then figure out why we are not doing. Half the time we're spending time and money on focusing on people who are not actually your customers. So Glance's real focus came from all of this previous experience. I use this and my data warehousing background to say that data can make a huge difference. And SaaS and B2B businesses are hungry bees. They have a funnel that keeps on acquiring new customers. You're always trying to convert and you're always trying to acquire new leads. But there's a lot of opportunity already in your segments and on your contact list. Look, everybody has an email list of 5, 3, 10, 20,000 people, but they don't necessarily always convert. Why? First, you just have to 20 to 30% efficiency because you're not targeting them right. Second, you don't know if they're ever going to be users. Third, you don't know if they are an ideal customer profile or an ICP match for you. All of these challenges can be taken away if you hone in, understand the right signals. Your users are emitting signals all the time. They come use a free trial version of your product, that's a signal. They're coming on your website, that's a signal. They're coming and doing a chat window or raising a ticket with you, that's a signal. It all means different. And I think Glance, with the power of its AI, can contextually map. It is especially useful for SaaS, but any B2B could also use this for different segmentation. And that is the secret and story, or the secret sauce that we have for the story of Glance.
Awesome, awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story and the Glance story. It's really inspiring because you came from a different background and you dived into a different world altogether, and you have created a beautiful product like Glance.HQ to solve the real world problem that SaaS people are facing. Awesome. Thanks a lot for that. And guys, before we dive into the Q&A session or the update sharing, let me play a promo video which will help the first time viewers to know more about Glance HQ. Here we go.
you were converting your contacts into your customers. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. So you're selling your SaaS to others, whether it's a license-based or subscriptions, and you're wondering how to get more customers. Now, you probably have thousands or millions of contacts, but they don't always convert. You also have customers who use a free version of your product and you want to get them to a paid one, or maybe you get customers on a basic paid plan and you wish them to upgrade to a higher tier, or you have customers on the highest tier who left you for some reason. It's not a problem for you if you have a data science team at your disposal and engineering to figure this out. But if you don't, a tool like Glance would be the best fit. Glance helps you convert your contacts into customers, and it does it by smart segmentation. Buyers, non-buyers, upgrade opportunities, and churn risks. Glance does it by deploying the AI onto your HubSpot, Salesforce, MailChimp, etc. So what it does is it securely collects data from all those and analyzes it. Why does Glance need this information? This is to understand your business. Are you a SaaS business? When your customer starts paying you money, etc. Glance also will ask you to define your ICP, which is the ideal customer profile, to understand who's your customer. Then what you want to do is go through a quick onboarding process and attach your contact list to the goals. In this particular case, this is the SaaS funnel, and then the AI steps in and does its magic. Boom, you've got it all segmented now. And once you click it, you've got all the information: tag title, contributing lists, and content suggestion, which is the tone of your email, content length, and some basic tips. Of course, they will be different for other segments, and what you want to do next is click Create All, and all of those will go straight to your HubSpot. So all you have to do now is focus on the content. And of course, you can track all the outcomes for all campaigns, but also you see the journey, how people were actually converted, how many people completed the goal and exited the funnel, etc. Now you have a chance to get Glance as a lifetime deal, so don't miss out. Go to pitchground.com, get your copy of Glance, and convert your contacts into your customers. That's pretty much it, guys. Let's keep growing and see you in the next one.
Awesome. That was an amazing intro video. Okay, so we can dive into the live Q&A sessions. And Roy, we would love to hear about the updates that you have been rolled out since since the PitchGround launch, or whatever feedbacks that you got it from the community. We would love to hear about from you that how you have taken those feedbacks and what kind of integrations or what kind of improvements that you have done with the tool. Over to you, Roy.
Awesome. Here are a couple of very exciting updates. We have integrated with Apollo.io. Apollo.io is like the ask for everybody who's doing prospecting, especially. I mean, before
Yeah.
free trial, right? This is, let us say, if you have a SaaS or anything else, Apollo.io is a huge integration. Why do people want this? People want to take their contact list in the email, enrich it with Apollo.io's data, and then do a ICP grading or a filter. What I mean by that is, let us say you went to a conference, let us say you went to any kind of place, right? You just went and got a 2,000 people list. I'm again speaking in small numbers only to make it easy to understand, but let's say you got a 20,000 list. If you look at 20,000 list in a conference, how do you know who's your customer? You have to look at the attributes of, hey, first of all, you just look at everybody's email address. Then you have to download that sheet, upload it into Apollo.io. Apollo.io has limits of how many contacts you can download. You enrich it, then you download it. Then you have to do manual filtering of, okay, this is the company, this is the size, this is what I need to do. Then you take what you think is the ICP, and then you upload it into your marketing system. You don't have to do that with Glance. With Glance, you integrate your Apollo.io. You just you map your list to saying that convert to paid or free trial as a goal. And we will take your integration of Apollo.io, your own API, and we will call the Apollo system and enrich your data right in your CRM or whichever email system you are. So that is a beautiful integration. Then additionally, what Glance does is Glance understands your ICP and starts filtering them out, saying that this is a 80% match, this is a 90% match. Anything less than 50% is considered a risky match, and anything that is below some 30% is not a match, right? You don't want to be having too many contacts in your CRM or email system or a marketing system when you have to pay for those contacts. Glance saves you all of those. So Apollo.io is a really, really exciting integration that you should look at. The next one, Customer.io. Customer.io is one of those email marketing platforms that everybody wants to integrate with, because there's some lot of good workflows. People use Customer.io with a lot of eventing and dynamic segments, but the challenge is Customer.io does not map to the process of, oh, I have a free trial, oh, I have a paid customer, I have an upgrade goal. This kind of goals are not there. So what you do is, based on a certain user behavior, you're creating event flags and you put customers into dynamic segments. But until an action is performed, you're not figuring out if it performs, or you need to do that. You've just created sequences for them. Instead, if you use Glance and map the segments to the goals, we will figure out the signals and identify them beforehand, saying that they are opportunity offers, and make them marketing offers. Like opportunity, you make them 10% off, 15% off, and then we manage and move them out of the segments to a static segment which is maintained by Glance. Again, look at this. This is all the work of AI. How are we doing this faster? Instead of waiting for an event to happen, we look at your paid users, we look at your non-paid users, we look at the behaviors of the paid users when they became paid users, we create a statistical analysis, and we make the same analysis and see if the same patterns are being used by your free users. And that is how the AI system recognizes that there is most likely an user. And that is the secret of potentially identifying segments that will convert. So Customer.io is a fantastic, fantastic integration that we have done. The next thing we've done is, our segmentations are always improving. We're doing this, what I talked to you about is ICP grading. We're planning to add more segments. Then the most prominent request has been, this is the feedback, right? The feedback is, hey, my Facebook connector was not working. So we just took it away because that data is not useful, but we have LinkedIn connectors that give us LinkedIn events and social data that helps you. So you must connect your that. And we have, by the way, we have just connected with Zendesk. Zendesk, why is Zendesk super important? Your product is being used, somebody is complaining, the user sentiment is changing. You need to know beforehand that his sentiment is positive, negative. So your customer success team, or just your product team for that matter, knows it's a big account, you don't want to lose them. So we flag churn-risk customers through the power of Zendesk. So if you're looking at Zendesk, you should seriously look at it. The upcoming integrations are Intercom. Intercom is a popular ask that is happening, so that we want to look at Intercom's data, we want to look at the sequences. We are working on it actively. One other super popular request is, can you also create some static funnels, static goals, and funnel goals? So the team is right now working on creating a specific set of funnel goals for SaaS kind of companies. And some companies says, this is a paid user, I'm happy, I just need to know when he's ready to upsell or upgrade, those kind of static goals. So we are also exploring that. So these are some really good, exciting updates I have.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let me reiterate. So you have integrated Apollo.io, then you have integrated customer
What
.io,
I
right?
also
And the last thing is the Zendex integration.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome.
Yep.
So these are the major integrations that you did in this week, in the last week, I can say. Okay, so awesome. And let me head over to the Q&A session, because there are a lot many questions that we came from the that we received from the community, right? So let me ask one by one. So Roy, could you please explain the new user, or the person who is first time watching Glance, or I can say who should use Glance in a simple in a simple words.
Any SaaS business today should use Glance after they've reached a few users. Why, I will tell you. You're always, SaaS is a hungry beast. You're building your list and you're continuously graduating your customer. A normal email marketing system is a rules based engine. It cannot understand that your user is free trialing, it cannot understand your user is paying you. It cannot identify if the user is ready to pay you more, and it cannot figure out if the system, everything. SaaS is very contextual, and it is very step oriented fashion, and there are different signals coming from the customer. Look, acquiring customers is a different problem, right? You spend on ads, you get something, and you do this. But what if you're a SaaS business who's running, you've got a free trial, you've got to figure out how do you market to the most valuable user? How do you identify them? Just listen to the user. It's a positive thing. Then how do you listen to the user? You look at their product usage, you look at their marketing data response, you look at their customer service tickets, you look at their billing data with like Stripe and other integrations, you look at their social behavior, you look at their site analytics, like they're visiting to the website, and you marry all the signal. But if you think about doing this in a normal platform, you need to have a data engineering team or a data scientist. We'll get all of this, download the CSV, create a BI report, then figure out in the live way, and then give you a bunch of users to upload. And the marketer then has to understand what to do. Instead, use Glance. It integrates all this channel data, identifies segments based on these goals, and contextually gives the marketer who to target. And the marketer can choose that, okay, this set of people, I have a sales BDR or a sales account executive who needs to touch base this segment. He can push them to sales and say, you take care of them, reaching out to them. So Glance really helps any SaaS business identify customers, buyers, non-buyers also sometimes, upgrade opportunities, and churn risks. That's who should be using Glance. So if you're a SaaS, you should check out Glance.
Okay, so my next question is, as you said, like Glance is majorly focusing on the SaaS businesses, uh, as well as the SMBs, right? So it's not necessary that you should have a SaaS business. You can use Glance in any kind of business, but majorly, as we are emphasizing on the SaaS businesses. So I would like to ask you, why is SaaS marketing different than the normal businesses or any other products?
See, the general marketing awareness, this was the IDA rule: awareness, interest, desire, and action. That was the typical funnel. Then they said the funnel has become a cycle, everything happens, and whatever happens. In SaaS businesses, since we cannot afford to do a lot of general advertising, and it's not like e-commerce where a click leads to an ad click leads to a buy, so the value of that ad is already gotten. It doesn't work that way, right? It works slightly differently. In SaaS, you need to get the customer, and you need to get him to pay a certain amount of money over a period of time, and then you figure out how much cost you can spend to acquire that customer. So SaaS has a different context. SaaS has things like lifetime value, customer acquisition cost. Then what ends up happening is SaaS, majority of the people end up saying that, you know what, the easiest way to market in SaaS is to give them a trial of our product quickly. So they end up offering some sort of a demo, a free trial, or in fact a freemium version. It's quite common. If you're an SMB, you're looking at freemium. If you're somewhat mid-market, you're looking at a free trial. Needless to say, you are giving some sort of the product access, which acts as the biggest marketing for you. If that happens, it's not the click of the ad, it's the usage of the product that becomes critical at that point in time. Then it is all the signals that his user is happening, and every time the user's context changes, he needs to be educated differently, he needs to be marketed differently, because he has progressed, right? So when you're in let's imagine you're in a school, you're in first grade. I cannot always teach you ABCD. When you come to second grade, I'll teach you sentences. Third grade, I'm telling you stories. So I need to graduate. So SaaS is a continuous marketing continuum where you graduate with the product and tell different stories. And a marketer needs to change. He needs to talk about use cases. He needs to talk about case studies. He needs to talk about events. He has to showcase successful customers. But if I'm just an ongoing customer, I just started, and if you show me a success case study, I may or may not be interested. I am more interested if you send me the product education video. So SaaS marketing is very contextual. But the problem with the current marketing channels, the marketing platforms are, nobody understands the context. They like send an email. If the user does this, send that thing. But All of that data also does not sit in the marketing system. It sits in different systems of record. Billing people have, acha, this guy added a credit card. Oh, that's a very positive signal, but nobody knows. The marketer
Right.
does not know, the sales guy does not know that somebody added a credit card. He's going to get billed on day 14, but on day 3, he came and entered the credit card. Do you know that he can upgrade? No, you don't know. So these
Right.
kind of signals are lost. Your users are emitting those signals, and you can make it work if you know those signals better. So I would think it's super critical for SaaS to be super contextual and use marketing in a contextual fashion to figure out where the customer is in his journey of with you as a product and market in that specific context.
Yeah, that's the important point that you made. Like, if anyone is adding the credit card on a free trial, for example, his free trial is ending on a seventh day, and he's adding his credit card on the third or fourth or the fifth day. That means that person is likely to convert. That means that person is interested to go and buy your paid plan. He can be a MRR or the ARR customer, right? So in that cases, if you are not getting those signals, if you are not identifying or analyzing that data, you are losing out on your MRR business, right? You're putting your money on the table and you don't know what's happening because, as you said, like the data is sitting in different buckets. For example, you're using different platforms altogether. So every platform has different data. And if you start analyzing that data, it would be a really headache because identifying data and gathering data from different platforms, it's again a whole game altogether, right? So here
Yeah.
comes the glance, which helps you to understand data from different platforms and which gives you the critical insightful information which can help you to turn your, for example, if we take this the current discussion that we had, like it will help you to convert your free trial customers into a paid customers. That is very important point that you made. Okay, so the next question that we have is, what does PLG mean and how the glance is helping in that section or in that term?
So all there's a every time there is a go-to-market model, right? First it was SQL, then there was first it was MQL, then it is SQL. So people are always looking for additional signals to figure out if the customer is ready to make the buy, bigger purchase, upgrade, or anything else. The new philosophy is product-led growth. Is there truly only one signal, which is product usage as a signal? This term was common. I think the term was coined by OpenView partners, and I think mostly Alex Bartlett, I think is his name. He coined the term product-led growth in 2016. But really, true examples of product-led growth are somebody like Dropbox, where the product itself is viral enough and it gets installed and people use. But where is the indicator, or what are the signals for people who are selling the product to figure out that you can incentivize a user? So they're looking at product as the main signal. So yes, if you are using product as the main signal, you should definitely check out Glance, because we're able to help that. But our philosophy is just product signal is not enough. It's multi-channel or cross-channel signals that you have to look at, because the user's context changes also means he's behaving in a different. A person does not eat one food every time, right? He eats different kinds of food to keep himself healthy.
Right.
Like that, the customer is also doing different activities which will give a single more than product usage. He does a lot of things. So we bring all of that context. So definitely Glance can help with PLG, SaaS, B2B, and it can also help with cross-channel signals. That's what I would say.
Okay, so as we talked about the PLG and you explained very well what does PLG mean. So I have a next question. Should all SaaS companies adopt the PLG mode? Should they have specific tools like PLG CRM or something like that?
So product-led growth is not for all. Different softwares have different kinds of selling. So it is a thinking and a philosophy where you say product has got the most viral factor, it spreads a lot, we can count on this to become a big deal. So I would recommend that you don't bet all on PLG, but you adopt the philosophy where it is applicable. If you are selling through a Salesforce and if it takes onboarding and if it is not self-serve, then you're not PLG. But if you have a self-serve based platform, all you have to now figure out is the signal. So what I would say is, figure out what kind of a system you are. If you are self-serve, if you have a BDR in the equation, which you have a sales guy in the equation, you need to customize. But here is what you can do. You don't have to buy a specific tool, but you do have to invest in base systems like CRM, email marketing, product analytics, billing, and web analytics. Why do you need? Because different channels have different kind of analytics and data. You have to make sure your CRM has a funnel, whether it is, even if it is if you're some kind of a non-consumer SaaS, if you're a B2B SaaS also, you have to create a sales funnel or a sales pipeline. I would say sales pipeline, not funnel, pipeline. Create a pipeline so you can track your deals of who converts and who does not convert. Make sure you have email systems that can do marketing and transactional, which means your account is activated is not the same as boss, we're giving you an offer, right? There are two different email systems. So figure out, distinguish between your marketing and non-marketing emails. Have that setup ready. Set up your product events that are important to you and send them to product analytic tools. It can be a Google app, it could be Mixpanel, it could be Amplitude, it could be Heap Analytics. Any of this will work, but track your product events and have an understanding of what product events are important. Just logging into your system is not important. For us in Glance, it's important that you connect to an email platform, but once you're done, the next time we want you to come and view the segments and push it into your system so you can actually market and use them. So for us, that is an important event. You're an active user when you do push your segments continuously and start marketing. So in your product, you have to figure out what are the important events that you have to do. That is one thing that you have to do. Then you have to have a very clear indication of who's your paid user, who's your free user. And in paid users also, if you have different plans, you have to know plan 1, plan 2, plan 3 users. Why? Because you need to know the value they offer, how many days they stay in a certain plan, and what is the behavioral pattern by which they move upward. You don't have to analyze it. You have to set the infrastructure for it, at least initially. Then you have to make sure that you're monitoring the KPIs for paid users versus non-paid users, so you know what are the features that I spoke to you about previously. Last but not the least, make sure your CRM captures every touch point, including the website visits. This is a setup you should at least have without investing in a lot of PLG tools. Reach at least 1,000 users or 500 users or 300 users before you adopt any specialty tool. That's my recommendation. And once you have this setup, please check out Glance. We'll help you. We'll make those segments happen.
Awesome, awesome. And so, as we are saying, like Glance will help business owners or the SaaS business owners uh, to organize their audience by goals with hyper segmentation feature of Glance, automatic hyper segmentation feature. So, what are hyper segmentation? If you can just share that information.
Very cool. See, hyper segmentations are very focused segments created on behavior. What I mean by that is, let us take a goal that you have a bunch of free users and you want to convert them to paid user. Once you convert them to paid, that is a goal. What do we need? We need to know people who are using the product really well. When will you convert a user? When he's using the product, when he's meeting the limits, when he's engaged with your marketing data, and he continues to be a regular user. If you don't, now what is the alternative to do all of this? You'll have to go to some system, whether it is Mixpanel or Amplitude, and say, if the user used this feature 3 times, then mark him as important. Then push this data to HubSpot. Then HubSpot has to analyze and say, if this data of the user has come, change the variable to a paid user of high engagement. Then you target it. You don't have to do all of that. In Glance, you just allocate a list with a goal. We will find out all of the data. We'll marry the product usage data. We'll marry the marketing data, and we'll say this guy is ready to convert, which means we are looking at the product data. This is hyper segmentation, where we have segmented to that level of readiness to conversion by analyzing his product usage, by looking at his marketing behavior and his readiness to buy. And then there is engaged user that we will say, hey, this is a engaged user, which we think needs a little more product education. He needs a little more stuff that is going on. and then he'll be ready. So this kind of segments are ready made, given to you. No rules engine, nothing for you to do. These are the kind of things you end up doing with Glance, and that I think is the power of hyper segmentation.
Awesome, awesome. So as you are saying, like Glance will help them to hyper segment the data along with the content recommendations, right? So where
Yes.
can user or the business owner sees the content recommendations?
The content recommendations are right now visible to them in the product itself, in Glance itself. The segments are always pushed directly into HubSpot. You don't have to lift a finger, it comes directly into HubSpot. But the content recommendations are now being shown on our platform. The goal in the future is to push them to your platform with the recommendation. Earlier version of the product used to send a templated email with context and keywords to use, but we have changed that because that's not something we want to do. But we want to give you all the data, like what are the keywords that led to the open rate, what is the subject line, what is the tone of the email, what is the number of word count you have to use. So the marketer does not have to think. He knows it's an education video or it has an education content. It has to be 400 words. The tone is formal to semi-formal, cheerful, and he has to use these 3 5 keywords. That's the level of recommendation we want to develop, and we are on the way to developing that. But right now you can see that on the platform.
Awesome, awesome. Guys, this is a live session which is happening with Roy. He is the co-founder and the CEO of GlanceHQ, and it's a beautiful platform altogether built for SaaS businesses, SaaS marketing, and other businesses as well, right? So, and if you have any questions related to the product, you can ask this question inside this live Q&A, because this is a live Q&A which we are conducting for you, because you might have a lot of questions in your mind before trying this tool. So you can ask all the questions, all the doubts that you have. And let me tell you that we are running a lifetime deal on a pitchground.com. So if you head over to pitchground.com/product/glance, you will see this tool is on a lifetime deal. So a lifetime deal means what? You need to just pay one time fee. There is no monthly, yearly, or quarterly recurring fees that you need to pay. It's a one-time. Let me just go over the plans and pricing very quickly. So the plans are starting with $49 for lifetime. That is a Plan A essential plan in which you're getting, in which you will be getting 5,000 contacts, and there are other inclusions as well. You can head over to the plans and pricing page, and you can see all those details. Then we have plan B, that is $97 for lifetime, in which you'll be getting 15,000, 1 5, okay, 15,000 contacts and other features. And then we have plan C, that is advanced plus plan, in which you'll be getting 30,000 contacts. And we have the top plan, that is plan D, ultimate plan, only $397 for lifetime, in which you will be getting 75,000 contacts. Okay, so as we're talking about contacts, so one more question that people are asking me, that is, Swapnil, do I need a contact minimum contact size or the campaign history to start using the Glance? So can you please shed more light on it?
Yeah, we at least one question I would say is have at least 2 to 3 thousand contacts and at least have about 3 months of campaign history. The reason we need is we need to grade your users and some paid users. If you're just starting, don't any kind of tool will not be able to reveal any kind of data at this point of time. So at least have 3 months of some kind of a marketing and a campaign history. At least have 2 to 3 thousand contacts. Then the data can perform really well. I just want to be very upfront about that with you and kind of tell you what's happening, so you at least know what's going on, and rather than just tell you what's going on in a negative way. So have the data, use these many platforms, at least have 3,000 contacts or 2,000 contacts, definitely have 3 months of campaign history, and it'll work.
Right. As you said, let me just reiterate, guys, you need to have at least 2,000 or 3,000 of the users or the contact list size. Then only, the AI, the beautiful and the powerful AI of Glance HQ will help you out to give you the insightful information. because you should have a good size of data to analyze, to get the get that analyzed by the platform. If you have the less data, for example 100 or 200 contact lists, then you will not get the right insightful information from the platform. Okay, so as we are recommending that you should have at least minimum to 2500. That's the that's the minimum ballpark figure that I can say. So that's it from my end. Those are the questions that been asked by the community. Do you have anything to share, or do you have if you want to discuss the roadmap, we would be happy to hear from you.
We're bringing exciting updates in terms of goals. We're building static goals, which is like upgrade my customers, nurture my customers, make sure my customers don't fall off the grade kind of goals coming in soon. Definitely sign up. Zendesk has been a new integration. Apollo.io is a new integration. If you want to do ICP based filtering for your contact list, you can get that done with Glance. So definitely do check us out at Glance. Swapnil, this has been an awesome session. And thanks to you all, PitchGround. Please check out Glance on a lifetime deal. Bye bye.
Yeah, before we wrap up, let me just share why business is choosing Glance over the rest. So here are some pointers. It will help you to enrich contact and qualify prospects for ideal customer, that is ICP, align customer list with specific conversion goals, provide bite-sized actionable insights to the marketer to improve their campaigns effectiveness and help increase conversions and ROI. It also provides list intelligence and tracks context journey through their goals. It also helps prevent customer churn. And yes, guys, the tool is available on a lifetime deal for a limited time of period. So do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal of glance.hq on pitchground.com, because the deal is gonna stay for a little time because it's a beautiful platform. You should not miss out. Be in the 2.5% innovators who use the right technology for their business and see increase customer conversion and ROI. Grab your lifetime deal today. Thank you so much, Roy, for taking your precious time out and sharing some valuable information and guiding us, and sharing some light on different parameters of marketing, of SaaS marketing, I can say specifically. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be seeing you in the next live event. And do not forget to register for our upcoming webinars and the live event. If you have any questions with the plans and pricing or the tool, do not forget to tag us or send us an email on support@pitchground.com. And even though you can ask your questions to the Glance team as well. Roy, you can just share your support email so that if they have any questions regarding the tool, they can directly ask to your team. So you can just say that email ID.
It's hello at glancehq.ai, HELLO at the rate of glancehq.ai.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Roy. Again, till so do not forget to check it out, the upcoming webinars, and do not forget to register. Right. So till the time, take care, be happy, keep improving 1% every day. We'll see you in the next live event or the webinar. Till the time, take care. Have a good day, all. Thank you so much, Roy. Bye.